Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I wanted to do a first trimester recap for my second pregnancy, and I also wanted just to catch up and do a little life update. The last video, like personal video I did, was my gender reveal, so I feel like there's a lot that I have to say and I just want to just blurt it all out. I've been sick, so that's why my voice sounds a little bit nasally still and congested, but I'm so excited to catch up with y'all. So let's get into my second pregnancy first trimester recap. So to prepare for this video, I actually watched my first trimester recap with Olivia, and y'all, this pregnancy has been so different compared to that one. My husband told me that he knew it was a boy just the first few weeks by how different I was feeling compared to our first pregnancy. So I would say the biggest difference, like right off the bat when I first found out, was how bloated and big I felt for the time that I had. So at 6 weeks, it's so weird how bloated I am. Like, do y'all see that? Like, that's how much I can suck in, which is not much, but look how weird like this part of my stomach looks.
The rib cage.
Is mommy's tummy big or small?
Big.
How big? I had a bump, but really it was bloating as big as like my 16-week bump with Olivia. So I was pretty big pretty fast, but this wasn't like a true telltale sign that it was a boy. Everyone says your second, third, fourth pregnancy you show quicker, so I was just chucking it up to that. As time went on, I got way more nauseous this time around. With Olivia, it's like a morning sickness. It was more so food aversions that would make me feel bad, so I knew what to avoid, what not to do, and what would help. I only had 2 dogs to take care of. Now I have a 2-year-old. It's way more tiring, it's way more challenging, but this time around it wasn't just food aversion. It was so hard to pinpoint. If I didn't eat small meals throughout the day, if I didn't eat constantly, I would be down for the count, and no matter how much I ate afterwards, I would feel terrible still. So it was a matter of keeping that under control from happening. The first time around I felt good pretty quickly, like a few weeks of feeling, you know, a little nauseous, a little tired, but I would say around week 11 I was already back to normal. I felt so energized, I could cook again, I craved so many foods. This time around, 14 weeks, almost 15, I still feel sick. I still have to eat little meals throughout the day to prevent feeling sick. It's definitely been more challenging, in case you couldn't tell, especially with a toddler. I don't want to feel bad, I don't want to be napping or in bed all day, but so these are the things that have been helping. I've been taking Unisum. This was a recommendation from the doctor, from my friends who are also pregnant right now and B6. So with Olivia, I had all these cravings. I had a whole list of things that I constantly wanted to eat, and none of it was weird. I was never craving like shrimp and peanut butter, no, but it was like a lot of food. I love food. I was so excited to eat. This time around, I am not excited for any foods. I have like food hyperfixation. Like, I was really into muffalata like during the first few weeks of pregnancy. My hyperfixation with food right now is just like muffalata sandwich. I never eat sandwiches. I'm just obsessed. Like, this just tastes so good. I have like Gruyere, olives, capers, whatever, and then cured meats. I'm obsessed. Like, I've been eating it every day for lunch after the pool, and today I'm having it for breakfast. Like, I am addicted. And now I would rather like eat nothing than eat a muffalata sandwich. Like, usually love sweets, and right now I'm just like, ugh, not craving anything. Here are a few things that I crave. At first, Oreo ice cream sandwiches, which I never even go for cookies and cream ice cream. Venezuelan food rings true both pregnancies now. I beg my mom to make me arepas every morning. If you don't know, my parents, my family is from Venezuela, and I was so sick and tired when I was young of eating arepas every day, and now every time I'm pregnant I crave arepas like my life depends on it. Toast, sandwiches, chips and queso, like I said, the muffalata was a big one, and then vanilla ice cream with cinnamon mixed in. Oh my god, that reminds me so much of my grandma, and I ate it like every single day, like 3 times a day for like 2 weeks straight, and now I don't even want it. Okay, this is something I meant to talk about. I've actually filmed myself talking about it a few times, but I've never successfully put it in a video yet. I don't want to talk about it too much, but the reason why I was really stressed out about trying this time around and why I wanted to try a little bit earlier just in case it didn't take or whatnot was because when I was 4 months postpartum in January of 2022, I got pregnant, kind of. It happened like during New Year's, and I found out like mid-January. It's like extremely stressful. I was not prepared to have 2 under 2. It was definitely not planned. I was on birth control. I was 4 months postpartum. I have a 4-month-old. Filming this just because I need to talk to someone. I don't want to call anyone right now. Sitting here trying to open this freaking pregnancy test, losing my mind. Olivia literally turned 5 months old today, so this better be nothing because I'm losing my mind.
Where is it?
It's right there. Be careful because that is definitely pee. Here. It says I'm pregnant?
Yes. No fucking way.
Look at my boy. So this baby would have been born September 2022. So I was just like a ball of nerves of the what ifs, of all the stress of is my body even ready to do this, so we go to a doctor and the sac is empty. So they were like, oh, it's too early, just come back. So I come back the next week, the sac is still empty, and they had to do a thing to remove it. It was pretty traumatic. It was not the best time, and the result of that made me scared for, you know, the rest of my pregnancies, because with Olivia happened on the first time, on the first try, everything was fine. But since this happened, I was like, well, what if I have a miscarriage? What if it's another empty sac? So something I didn't tell you during my announcement video was that I went to, so I was freaking out. I was freaking out internally. I was like, I will not let anxiety win. I told my friends, I told my family, but internally I was freaking out because in the back of my head, it was like a big possibility to go into the ultrasound and that it was an empty sac. So I went to an ultrasound place. I was 6 weeks and it was empty again. And I was explaining to a tech why I was so anxious, and she's like, you really are too early. Just, we'll do another one for free, just come back. But by the time I was coming back, I was already like 8 weeks and I had my real doctor's appointment. So they did it then, and there was like a little thing in the ultrasound, and I felt so much better. You could see like the little heartbeat, even though we couldn't hear it at the time. And then I went back to that place, and then we saw a baby boy. But even though I didn't want to let my anxiety win this time around, I am definitely lying if I said that I didn't hold out my breath every single time we go to an ultrasound. Like, it's just been really, really stressful, especially after last time. I'll tell you all what happened in a second, but just like to maintain a positive mindset. This was about 2-ish weeks ago. I had my like 12-week appointment, and I went in and they like weighed me. I don't even feel like talking about my body or my weight or anything like that. It's been sad that I didn't, you know, I haven't been able to work out because I really haven't been feeling it. But honestly, the way I would focus so much on my body my first pregnancy was just really sad, and I wish I would have listened to y'all more, which I am this time. I know I can get back to where I was or better, which is what happened the first time around. So I am not worried about it. If I gain weight, I gain weight. If my bump is huge at 14 weeks, it's huge. I don't care. So that's a good difference this time around, but I digress. That's not the point of the story. My husband was waiting in the weight room, and she was like, yeah, I'll just take your vitals and go get him. And for like 10 minutes she could not find a heartbeat, and my anxiety just like crept up like so quickly. I was like, I cannot explain to you all how badly I was freaking out. And she was like, oh well, like, I don't know, I'll try another machine. So she went to try the other machine. She still couldn't find a heartbeat, and she's like, well, I'll call a different nurse. The nurse was able to find it after like 5 minutes. It turned out to be this like 30-minute ordeal. By the end of it, I felt like I was gonna throw up, like from how much stress and anxiety the whole situation caused me. So when it came time to talk to my OB after that, I was like, can you please do an ultrasound, because I was really stressful and my anxiety is just like through the roof right now, and she knows about my like postpartum anxiety and all this. She was like, yeah, we'll do one. They did one, the heartbeat was strong, but she said like, I don't know why they put you through that. Usually we don't do Dopplers this soon. So that definitely kind of like raised my anxiety back up, even though it's been pretty mellow throughout this pregnancy. And I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't gotten like 100% better since. I don't have my anatomy scan until October, which sucks. It's just been like a little stressful. Okay, so let's bring it back. I was pretty delusional this entire time, to a fault. I really thought it was a girl. I thought I was meant to have all girls. I posted a video about names. I had a girl name picked out. Ask me if we have a boy name picked out. Nope. No, my husband and I cannot agree on a name. I personally don't like any boy names that sound good both in Spanish and in English. I kind of feel bad for my husband because he has this name that he really likes, and I told him last night, I was like, don't see it. Like, I don't see myself being like that boy's mom. Like, I don't see my baby being named that. And the fact that like we don't know yet, it's really like weighing on me, especially because I don't see any name that will make me change my mind, which is very problematic. I also asked on Instagram if y'all had any questions, so I want to start answering those throughout this video. Someone asked me if old wives' tales ring true for this gender, and I will say no. For the Chinese gender test, it said it was a girl. With Olivia, it also said it was a girl, and this time obviously it was wrong. I wouldn't say I'm glowing by any means. I am breaking out, and you know, they say like girls take the beauty away, so I definitely feel pretty ugly, so that also didn't ring true. Craving salty, I guess, is like boy-like, and then just showing earlier is more so like a girl thing. So any of them rang true except for the necklace ring test. My mom is very prideful about this. She always guesses people's genders right, and she told me a long time ago that I was gonna have a girl first and a boy second, and she was right. So that's the only one that I would say is, you know, the most accurate so far. I wouldn't say I had like gender disappointment. I was just truly in shock. I honestly feel like I'm still slightly in shock, just because in my mind it was like there was no other option. It was a girl for sure. So it's taken like a little bit of adjusting to the fact that it's a boy for me to like, you know, come to terms with it. But I'm still really excited. Please don't get me wrong. I just feel like I have like a lot to figure out in order for me to feel more prepared. I feel like if it would have been a girl, you know, I already had everything. I already know what girls are like. And with boys, I feel like it's like, even though it's my second time, I feel like it's a whole new world. The good news is that I feel like we're not gonna have to buy too many things. We're gonna have to buy, you know, we have a single to double stroller, so we're gonna have to buy the double stroller part of that, a second car seat, maybe an infant car seat, but we have like the bigger things already. And for clothing, we had a lot of gender neutral things, so I'm pretty confident that I'm not even gonna have a baby shower. Like, I don't want more crap in my house, but I'm pretty confident that we have like the majority of the things we need, even if, you know, he's gonna have to sit in a pink bouncer. I don't care. We get to turn this room that I'm sitting in right now into his nursery. This was like a premonition that I had. I already knew that I wanted to turn this room that before I was even pregnant into like a blue horse kind of like Western chic vibe, which is why we installed this wallpaper. So now we're gonna paint the rest of the walls blue, vintagey looking pieces of like horse decor. I don't know how to explain it, but I have a vision, kind of like Ralph Lauren, old money type vibes. So obviously baby boy will be sleeping in our room for the first few months, but Olivia will have her big girl bed. The crib will go in this room, and then we get to, you know, decorate it, and it's really exciting. All my friends are having boys, so that's even more exciting because we get to share, you know, everything about boy life, and I don't feel as alone this time around. I feel like as a first-time mom, as a COVID mom, as you know, all the things, it was a very isolating experience. So the fact that my friends are pregnant at the same time as me, and they're like my best friend and my cousin, you know, two of the closest people in my life, just feels really exciting this time around. But overall, it's been good. I'm lucky, I'm grateful. Everything with baby boy looks good and healthy, and I want to reiterate that even though I said, you know, I had like a little bit of disappointment or initial shock, I'm so excited for this boy and for Olivia to be a big sister to a little brother. It makes me want to cry. I'm not okay because I was a big sister to a little brother and I love my brother so much, as y'all know. So I'm very, very excited. I'm just emotional, and I hate that we cannot find a name that we both like, but hopefully in my next update we'll have a name. And I really wish y'all could help me decide. I just don't believe in sharing like a name before the baby's born. I don't know if it's like something that my parents would always like drill in my head, like don't tell people about trips before you go on them, and don't, you know, announce your moves before you do them and things like that. So I think that's like also why, and you know, evil eyes thing and evil thoughts, and I don't know, I'd rather not share, but I really wish y'all could help me. So just feeling a little overwhelmed. I've been sick, which has sucked. Then Olivia was sick, which also sucked, and August was like a really overwhelming month, like physically, mentally, just a lot happened. So I'm ready to like chill out. But that's everything for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for following along this journey with me. I'm so excited to bring you guys along this pregnancy, and you know, all the moments and all the things, the good and the not so good. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.